Hey guys, today's video is a continuation from yesterday's video. This was my ramblings continued, and I edited it out, not sure if I wanted to post this video. And as I got to thinking about it, I realized, you know what, even though it's controversial, it's probably something that we should discuss. And I thought you guys would find it interesting. So to that end, enjoy. Hello guys, welcome to another vlog. Today's vlog will no doubt be very controversial and probably create a bit of stir and generate a lot of interesting comments. But today I wanted to discuss some of the politics or public opinion revolving around Tesla as a company. Now, I'm not going to discuss our current presidential administration or former administrations directly, although there are implications that each presidential administration, there's effects that each of those administrations have had, obviously, on this industry, and so it's going to be impossible to completely avoid that. Now, I'm not a political expert. I've never run for office. I do vote, and I have my own opinion, and that can be discussed off camera by those I know and care about and who care about my opinion. But for this video, what I want to discuss is the purchasing an EV and living with it in relation to what the media and the political climate, you know, how it swings different industries and that. And first I have to say that I believe that any product should rise or fall on its own merit. It bothers me when either the media or any political party either promotes or speaks down on a product or a specific industry. So you know, I believe that, for instance, farmers should be able to charge for a bushel of wheat or corn what they need to charge for a bushel of wheat or corn, instead of artificially driving the price down and then the government subsidizing farmers because they can't make a living. I disagree with, as far as EVs go, I disagree with the federal tax credit. Now, as a sidebar, I am taking the federal tax credit, and the reason I am is, as a self-employed person, I get taxed on things I should not be taxed on, and my tax rate is higher than it needs to be. There are things I should be able to write off that are legitimate business expenses that the government doesn't allow, and it is so rare to get any kind of deduction or tax credit that is that benefits you, you know, in such a drastic way that I'm going to take this credit. In essence, however, I disagree with subsidizing any specific industry to encourage it on a certain level, but on another level I like it. So I disagree with it in that EVs are not they're not something that is going to save the world, or at least not instantly. I believe that it's important to move to electric propulsion or some other form of potentially clean transportation, and that's another topic. Various energy sources, and you know, hydrogen and you know, natural gas and different things. That's a whole other topic. But basically, the problem with the tax credit is it is subsidizing private industries that are making profit for their CEOs and that, and I disagree with that. I do agree with the tax credit in promoting technology that truly I believe is the future. I believe that EVs are the future, not just because of the green aspect of it, but the potential performance is actually far higher. It's not just higher than gas engines, it's far higher. If from a reliability standpoint, the potential performance while remaining reliable is far higher. So I believe that EVs truly are the future, and so it's good that the government, I think, guide the energy use climate in a specific direction because of that, and it is good for the environment and different things. But I disagree with encouraging any private industry that's profit bearing, and whereas the other industries are forced to battle against that. And obviously, though, we have big oil that has its own benefits worldwide, as far as that they are being benefited by lobbyists and political climates that have encouraged the oil industry blossom, given them the environment to bloom and blossom in decades gone by. So there is that side of it. I think that as far as the political parties go, our two main parties, the Republican side and the Democratic side, each political party has its strengths and weaknesses. Without getting into a Democrat versus Republican debate, and I'm assuming most people that watch this channel are probably lean more on the Democratic side, because EVs have typically been a technology that has been embraced by the by Democrats and the liberal side. So I recognize that, which is something I don't understand, and that's one thing I want to bring up. I personally value different facets of each political party in certain ways, and then I reject certain aspects of each party. It makes it very difficult at times to go to the polls, because on one side you have certain things that you agree with, and you say that's great, but then there's baggage that comes along with it. And on the other side, some of the baggage from the one party may not be present, but that party may reject certain things that I hold dear, and so it becomes very difficult. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that feels this way, and it's a problem, because I have very liberal friends, I have very conservative friends, and the liberal friends of mine love the fact that I own this car and that I have a number of lightweight EVs that my electric bikes and different things I've built in the past, and that's all great, and they embrace me because of that. But then there are certain aspects of their worldview that I disagree with. I'm not going to get into those because that'll create an argument, but there's certain facets of their worldview that I disagree with. And then my Republican conservative friends, I may agree with certain aspects of their worldview, but they tend to be the ones that are among the more critical about my purchase of this car. And so I've had a few downright arguments with friends and family about why I would buy this car, and lithium batteries are more harmful to the environment than exhaust fumes, and it's the whole green thing is a farce, and that car's going to cost you more to own than a gas car, and all of these things that are mostly fallacies. They generally will make one or two comments that might have some weight to them, but the majority of the conservative position would disagree with my purchase of this car, and so it becomes difficult. Some of the people I care about very deeply, purchasing this car has actually been a problem in our relationship, although it's improving as I've owned it and been able to sort of woo them into drinking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. But then with my liberal friends, they tend to embrace me more and assume that I agree with everything that comes with that. So they tend to assume that I've leaped the fence and that I am now completely in their court, and I therefore must agree with all of the finer points of their position, politically, ethically, morally, just all of the different facets that come along with it, and I don't. So I function more as a moderate, which you would think would avoid conflict, but what it does is it means that I anger everybody around me, at least in some ways. But I think that to be well balanced in life really requires looking at all sides. In fact, we in this country hold education up high, and we should. The term to educate really means to look at all sides. And I think that it would do Republicans well to start looking at the Democratic side and recognize some of the strengths that their position has. But the same holds true for the Democratic side. I think that the Democrats that I know, well, Democrats as a whole, should also look at the Republican side and say, what strengths do they have? Because it's one side isn't all good or all bad, and the other side isn't all good or all bad. Each side looks at the world through a different axiom, a different pair of glasses, and they interpret things differently. And one is not necessarily right or wrong. It depends on the subject matter. So one side will take a given topic and lean in a certain direction on it, and the other side will lean the other direction because they're viewing it from a different perspective. Maybe one side is looking at the pure economics of something, and the other one's looking at the societal impact of those economics. And, you know, but one side may look only at the societal impact and completely ignore the financial side. So if the societal impact is this big, but the cost is this big, well, is that really something that's productive to do? On the flip side, hey, if the societal impact is going to be this big, but the cost is really only this big, my goodness, why don't we move ahead with it? And neither side seems to really understand that, or at least what, you know, the discussions that I've had, both sides seem to struggle with this same truth, this same reality. Because heaven forbid a conservative look at a liberal and see any truth in any facet of their position. And the same holds true, heaven forbid a liberal look at a conservative and find anything worth redeeming in that. And that really bothers me. I think that we as a nation, our strength is being a melting pot for many cultures, many worldviews. This country has been made great by taking those who are oppressed and persecuted and giving them safe haven. And there are specifics about that that I don't want to get into here, but that's been a strength of our nation. And so to be separating things, you know, too far black and white becomes an issue. I believe there are black and white topics and issues, and again, not going to go down that road in this video, but I really want to see both sides come together. I think that the conservative side needs to see electric vehicles and alternative energy sources with a bit more credibility than they have been. But I also think that liberals need to do a cost-benefit analysis and say, look, if something benefits us a little bit but costs a crazy amount, we really need to analyze that. And I know there's other components to that and long-term effects and different things, but I do believe that this is a topic worth discussing, because it's something that I've been encountering in my own life, these disagreements back and forth, and it really does come up more readily in my life since purchasing this car. Each side has very strong positions on it one way or another. So and then I gotta say, I do know a few people that just think it's a cool car and they don't really care about any political implications of it or anything having to do with the environment. They just say, wow, that is a cool car. And there's a few people I know that say, I hate that car, and why would you get that car? So, but there are, you know, it's owning this car has polarized people in my life a little bit more than they would have been, you know, if I purchased something else. And I ran into the same thing when I purchased my my hybrid before this car. Actually, I probably had even more discussions then, but a lot of my friends got used to the fact that I was okay with a green vehicle, so purchasing this wasn't as big a leap for a few people that I know. But anyway, I've been rambling and rambling. I apologize. So again, guys, thanks for tuning into the vlog. I'm going to do my best to give you my thoughts on Tesla, on EVs, on the world climate. pretty regularly, and let me know if this is a type of video that you like, or if you just rather see purely technical content related to the car itself. So feel free to leave comments below. Obviously like and subscribe, all of that, and promote the channel, because the more subscribers and views that I have, the more time I can put into these videos and improve the content even further. So again, have yourselves a great day. See you next time.